Welcome to the Big City Podcast. Today I have Kat and Taylor with me, who are the co-owners of the Fresh Salon Company of Sarasota, which is located in downtown. Did you guys always want to do this, or is this something like that happened all of a sudden, or was this something that you, since you were younger, you wanted to be a stylist? And it might be different for each of you.
I always had my own little hair and makeup business in high school.
Nice.
I just genuinely enjoyed it, but I never considered it as a career because it's a taboo subject, but there's always been this stigma that hairstylists don't make money. And so I just never considered it as a career, but I soon learned otherwise after that. And that's when I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Nice.
I started college after high school, and I just remember 6 months in, I stood up in the middle of my accounting class and left. And I was like, why am I here? What am I doing here? I took a little sabbatical and then figured out, okay, hair is what I want to do. How are we going to make this happen? And how am I going to make money?
How did your parents take that when you said, I'm quitting school?
Listen, my mom's a mortgage lender and very type A. My mom was not cool with it at first. She's like, what do you mean you're quitting college? But no, it was good. I think she knew that I needed to do something else and actually get out of Sarasota as well. So I left for Orlando. I went to the Paul Mitchell School in Orlando. And that's where I completed my 1,200 hours. And then I got sort of the college experience because I got to live with all of my friends that went to UCF. Okay. So
that's where I went to school.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I'm sure it was way before you, but yes, I lived there for a little while. And well, it's good. You get to pursue your passion, though.
Yeah.
So that's always, to me, the key. And you're going to be successful if you can pursue something that you love and call it work.
For sure.
How about you, Kat? How did you get started?
So actually, funny story. I did own a salon before Fresh.
Which I didn't even know that until we bought Fresh.
Was, a very long time ago. It was in Bradenton. It was only small, maybe 4 or 5 stylists there. My kids were babies, so I would work at the front desk, talking to clients, answering the phone. I just loved that whole environment of being in the salon, and that's what drove me to go and get my license in beauty school in Sarasota. Once I'd done that, I went through a divorce, and the salon, we closed that down, and I knew I always wanted to work at Fresh. I'd been there as a client a few times and just thought it actually was the best salon in Sarasota. So I managed to get a job there, and I did what they call the mom hours, where I'd get there maybe 9:30 and then I'd have to finish to pick the kids up. So when I started there, it was a very slow process for me. I couldn't be as available working evenings and because I had the kids.
Yeah.
And I remember working on Saturdays, which used to kill me because I had to get a babysitter, come home from work and pay her more than I'd just earned, which was kind of crushing. But guess what? We got through it and, worked our way up the level system, right? Seems like so long ago.
I know.
But here we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how long were you both stylists, before you moved over to the ownership side? Like 10 years, I think you were saying?
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, we're coming up to our 2-year anniversary. So like 8 years that we were working as stylists at Fresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when was that moment where you said, you know what, we could do this. We could
is a great
become
question.
owners. Yeah. that something lead up to it, or was it just all of a sudden one day?
We had owners that at the time were absentee, and I think everyone in the building could kind of feel it, that the drive and the heart wasn't there. And I think we had a fabulous manager. She kind of kept the place running and kept everyone operating how they needed to. A lot of us felt stagnant, and we felt that Fresh was stagnant as well. And so I texted Kat, and we had worked together 10 years, so we know each other pretty well, but I wouldn't say we were best friends.
No.
So I was like, hey, like, we don't hang out outside of work. And I was like, hey, want to get brunch?
Okay.
And she was like, I know what this is about.
So you had a feeling.
And so I was like, what do you think if we propose a partnership with ownership? Because it was very clear we needed a remodel. We just needed a revamp in all of the systems. And the salon was on the verge of a walkout. Like, stylists weren't happy, and we knew that something just needed to change. And so, we had many meetings and figured out what worked for us, what we wanted to propose. And then we get to the meeting, and before we can even get into the numbers, the owner just was like, how about I just sell Fresh to you?
Were they talking about selling or at all? Or
I think for some time,
Yeah.
I think they didn't want to just sell it to anyone.
Okay.
I think they really wanted a stylist who had invested time there to be the one to purchase it.
Were they also stylists, or were they just business owners of the?
Just business
Okay.
owners. One of the daughters was a stylist, but she moved away.
Okay.
And then it was just left to one of the other daughters and the dad.
And I think after that, it had served its purpose, really.
Yeah.
After Bethany left, that it was kind of like, well, there's no point in closing it. Let's keep it going. But that drive wasn't there as much as it used to be. And I think that's what we're saying, that it was felt that
Yeah.
nobody was growing together, and it wasn't, we're all heading in the same direction. So that's what it was lacking, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a real difference of someone who just owns a business versus owner and operator and working in the
For
business.
sure. I think you've got to
Absolutely.
be so passionate about it and obsessed with it for it to be successful and to work. If you're not obsessed with it, it's not the same.
Yeah, you could make. I mean, obviously they could make some money off of it, but
Right.
is it long term?
Yeah.
If the employees weren't happy or feeling the
Yeah.
grind with them, I'm sure it's just a whole nother level now. What were some of the fears or some of the loudest things in your head that were saying maybe I'm not sure if I could do this?
I think for me, when that opportunity was presented to us, I thought, this is one of those life moments that I shouldn't turn away. I have to jump on this. It's not going to happen to me again. What better salon to run than the one that we've just worked at for the past 10 years, and not by myself either, but with Taylor. And we've kind of seen mistakes been made. We've seen what's works, and we'd seen a lot of comings and goings at the salon. So it was kind of like, don't be scared. Go for it. Don't let this pass you by. But I think one of the main things that had me scared was, we'd just been on the same level as everybody else for 10 years. Are people going to think, oh my God, do these girls know what they're doing? Are they going to give us the respect? Are they going to listen to us? Or are they just going to think it's a joke, basically? There's a lot of other girls who have been there a long time as well. And we all felt that it needed to change. It just so happened that Taylor and I were the ones to put our houses on the line.
Yeah.
I think I was worried about the other staff, to be honest. That was my biggest fear.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
especially if you were all
Like, who are you?
colleagues.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and I'm sure it's something that you've earned, the respect, and that you're taking good care of them. And we'll get into that in
Sure.
a little bit. How about you, Taylor? What was your biggest?
I think my biggest fear was I knew there was so much that I didn't know how to do. And again, we wanted the confidence of the staff, that we would have their backs. So it was just a lot of learning lessons. Kat and I have worn so many hats within the business, from social media to being assistants, to answering phones, to being stylists, to being mentors. So we, in a way, we, for the past 10 years, saw all of the problems. And I think at the end of the day, we just knew, we can do this better. So I think that was kind of my driving motivation, is I knew there was a lot to figure out. We are artists, so things like taxes
Right.
and payroll and accounting, it doesn't come naturally.
You shouldn't have left your accounting class that you walked out
I
of,
know, right?
These are those moments.
Baby Taylor knew that.
Yes, right.
But yeah, so it was a lot of growing pains. You know, we did make a lot of mistakes in the beginning, not big enough that anyone really noticed, but we did have some setbacks, and we just made sure that it didn't happen again, and we grew from it and learned. And at the end of the day, we just really wanted to make sure that we had our staff's back. If the roles were reversed, like as a stylist, I would just want to know that I'm being taken care of as an employee. So, because we had been on the other side of that, where we felt like we all were growing as independent stylists, but not as stylists within a salon community. And I feel like we've really turned a corner and changed that. And I don't want to say we have a family dynamic, because that's kind of gross and cringe, but we do have this solid foundation and community of stylists and
Culture,
yeah.
That's what's
a
so
million
important.
Different personalities and specialties, but we all have a common why. We all show up for a lot of the same reasons. So it's cool to see us all come together in that aspect.
And you have, and I don't know if every salon does this. I always assume that with a lot of salons, people rented space and paid their rent, but yours is different. Everybody's actually employed by Fresh Salon Company. It's not just a bunch of silos. It's actually everybody is working together for one common goal. And how much has that grown as far as your size now from when you started to where you're at today?
I think we have almost 30 now.
Wow, that's a lot of people, yeah.
I think it's one of the most proudest things that we've got at the salon right now. All of the chairs are full. Like, if somebody else wants to come and work for us, we're pretty stuck. We're going to be going to split shifts if this carries on. Our associates are now becoming stylists. Our stylists are becoming mentors. There's a line of people waiting to work at Fresh as well. We've got associates coming out of beauty schools, interviewing with us, and some good people as well, some great girls who want to come and work for us. I feel very honoured that people want to come and work for us. They like our program that we've created.
Tell me a little about that program, because I think that's interesting, is that they're not just set out and say, all right, go you graduate beauty school and go eat what you hunt. And there's actually a process, there's mentoring, there's training, there's a level of excellence that you guys are teaching. Tell us a little bit about that.
So straight out of school, you know, you've just worked 1,200 hours, or if it's a different state, however many hours it is to get through school. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got all the tools to build your business. You still might need some extra work in haircuts and colouring or whatever it is. And it's not just the technical part of it either. It's social media is huge in our business right now. Making connections with people. I think people today are lacking connection more than anything else. They crave it. And I think that's why it can be very emotional for us as well. And people sit in our chair and tell us the struggles that they're going through in life. They're going through a divorce, or they've lost somebody, or their dog's died, or they're going to the dentist and they're scared, or whatever it is. You know, people like to open up to us and share. And when you're not used to that, it's a heavy load. It's a lot. So when people first come to us as an associate, they'll work side by side with a mentor. A mentor is a seasoned stylist, and our associates are encouraged to eat, sleep, everything, breathe hair, be as passionate as we all are about hair. And so they'll work with the mentor doing everything that they're doing, whether it's foiling, blow drying, shampooing, talking to their guests, getting them rebooked, and learning from their mentor everything they need to know to grow their own business. And then they're slowly eased into that as well. So they'll have some time on the floor where they can take their own guests and build from that and reach their goals. And then they'll get another day on the floor, and we slowly ease them into it. So
is
they're
that,
not
is
just
that time frame different for everybody, or is it a normal, like, is it a year?
Well, we like to say 6 to 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's fast. Like I just said, they're fully loaded doing this. This is your life. So 6 to 9 months is quick, but everyone's just a little different. When I was an associate, it took me a long time. But then again, the program wasn't as intense and I was working not as many hours because of my personal situation. I think I was an associate for 2 years.
Okay.
But
So it goes to show you it doesn't matter how long as you're
made it in the
persistent and have that grit. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I know with my stylist, yes, she cuts my hair great. Thank you. No, just shout out to Melissa.
I was going to say, it does look really nice.
But yeah, she's like a therapist too. She knows everything about me, and I open up to her, and we have a great relationship. You guys talk about that as far as training as well, because it seems like such an important thing when you have a relationship with someone you're seeing pretty regularly.
Probably our biggest advice with that to new associates is just read the room. You're going to have people that come and sit in your chair and they don't want to talk at all. They want to dial in on their computer. They want to get work done. Or you might have the stay-at-home mom who comes in and the only adult contact she has is you that day. So maybe she wants to talk the whole time. So I think we really have to be self-aware, but also aware of our clients and their needs. And it's not just about our personality behind the chair. It's about what they show up and need from us because we are service providers.
Yeah. And it's just always a combination of excellent service and what your product or your service, but that relationship is always just as important, that they trust you and they can talk with you, and that my secrets are safe with my stylist.
My hair is full of secrets in Sarasota.
Most of our stylists drive home in silence at the end of the night.
I'm sure you
no
hear
music.
a lot. Yes, right? Yes, you have to be willing to be a good conversationalist.
Yeah.
So you guys are partners, and I'm sure a lot of people, you always hear mixed things, whether having, some people will say, don't ever have a partner. Others encourage partnership. I have partners for my personal business as well, and it works well. And I've had partners that it doesn't work as well. So how is your dynamic with your partnership? You guys kind of really just took a chance because you worked together, but you didn't really know when you become a partnership, it's a whole nother level, kind of like a marriage, right?
I think
how does it work with you guys?
I think from the beginning, we had no doubt that each other worked really hard because we've worked together for 10 years. We knew each other's work ethic. So there was no doubt in that aspect. Like I said, we're not best friends, and I think that works to our advantage because I'm not scared to hurt Kat's feelings and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think what it comes down to, the foundation of our business and our goals and our why, we have a common goal, both short-term and long-term. And I think we were just very intentional about setting those goals and setting that big picture from the beginning. So there wouldn't be any surprises. Our common goal was to just create a really freaking awesome place to work. We wanted everyone to show up and feel valued and cared for and genuinely enjoy their work. I think we really leaned into that in the beginning.
Do you each have different roles that you've kind of assumed? Maybe one's more operational, one's more, we'll talk with the employees more, or is it a joint effort? Have you guys figured that part out as well?
And I think it's kind of been very natural how it's fallen as well. Taylor does a lot of the education. She'll work a lot more closely with the associates. I'll do coaching with the stylists and try and be that cheerleader and help them and text them all the time saying, hey, what are your numbers today? You're doing great. Taylor and I suffer from a lot of guilt. We both feel guilty that we're not pulling our weight as well, which is kind of crazy, really. And I'm glad that we both feel it, but we're both like, are you sure you want to take that on? Do you want me to do it? Oh, I'm so sorry if I've been quiet this week. We both want to make sure that the other person knows where our head's at. I feel like we've got this environment where we're not scared to say things to each other, even if it's some crazy, wild idea. If I say something, I know Taylor's not going to say, "That's stupid. What are you talking about?" She'll word it nicely or say,
"Let me think about it."
More often be like, "Yeah, let's do it." Yeah. And vice versa. So there's no ego. If Taylor's got a better idea than mine, I'm like, "Right, let's go with it." Or vice versa. There's no like, "Oh, that was my idea." It's what's the best thing to do. Let's go ahead with that. Perfect.
You're putting the business ahead of your own personal egos, which is easy to happen.
Easy, yeah.
Right.
And I think it's because we've never been best friends. We've been good acquaintances and watched each other over the years and been inspired by each other. Plus, there's like a 10-year age gap. And maybe a little bit more. I know that. But I think it really works to our advantage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It really does.
I always think 100% that if you have different skill sets, instead of someone who's exactly like you as a partner, that really, and then you respect each other's strong suits and know what my weakness is or what my partner's weakness is, and they're aware of that, and you can have that open communication. That formula to me makes a partnership. Even 1 + 1 = 3 at that point. I think the communication part is the key to that, and I think that's what you're saying.
It really is, and there's some things that are more important to the other one. Mm-hmm. So Taylor is great at the remodel, really, really good with interior design and picking colors and choosing what we should have. And I'm like, yeah, go for it. I don't need to argue with you on this. I know it's going to look great. Just do it.
Well, and obviously, as you move into more of your business owner's hat, your personal production as a stylist, or how it used to be when that was like your only focus, there's a shift that occurs where you're shifting your energy and your time into running the business. And
so I think that transition, we went from eat, sleep, breathe hair, growing our clientele behind the chair. Kat and I, for years, have made well into 6 figures as 30-hour-a-week stylists. Mm-hmm. And we've built these amazing careers. And to make that shift into making an investment now, and we're not investing in just ourselves, we're investing in a team of people. So we can't fail. I think that's what drives us now. I have shifted from being passionate about growing as a hairstylist and growing my clientele behind the chair to now I get to grow a team, and I get to see all of these amazing people meet their goals and make their wildest dreams come true. And it's just really, really cool.
Their success, gives you success in more ways than one, and it allows you to do a lot more for a lot more people as well. And it is a shift, right? From just focusing on your clients to now you have 30 people that you're responsible for. What has been something that maybe you didn't think about, that shift, like that surprised you, if that makes sense?
I didn't expect to make a lot less money.
I think I didn't expect, again, this has been a natural thing where we're basically being pushed out of our chairs. Because our chairs are needed for other people. And I didn't think that was going to happen, if I'm honest. But Taylor and I have sat down and done a 1-year plan. We're working on a 3-year and a 10-year plan as well. So we do have a vision. And I think this next year, our main focus is, because there's so many people now, and Taylor and I are busy doing other things instead of hair, we're kind of concentrating on getting this leadership group together, and people within the salon who can help out in other areas as well, and can be a part of our team and grow with us, and we can all brainstorm together and, okay, what's next? So having great people within our company working up with us, it's creating new jobs and new leadership roles.
And it really is an investment. I think most people think, oh, we bought the business and everything is, rainbows.
Yeah, it's not all fun.
It's not, right. And it is a long-term investment and there's sacrifice for sure, right? So I'm sure some days you think, if I was just in my chair, making more money at the moment and maybe less stress, but the long-term picture of it is you're building a legacy, you're building a business that takes time. It's not overnight. And I think that's where a lot of misconception happens.
Absolutely.
Right?
There's definitely been a lot of sacrifices. And for the first 18 months or so, we didn't take anything from the company for all the work that we've put in, just what we've been doing behind the chair. And now we're being thrown out.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, right. Well, I think it comes in stages too. And I think you have the right mindset where you can't do everything. And so then you start recruiting some people to be in leadership team. And you have to do that in stages though.
Yeah.
So over the next 3 years, you're talking about a 3-year plan. What's your goals that you're thinking of?
I don't want to say too much,
Well, you
but
can keep it broad.
we're definitely going to dip our toe in the e-commerce pool this year. So we're very excited about that.
Nice.
And then just growing our leadership roles, and the jobs kind of create themselves as the salon builds. So it's cool to see that flourish.
Do you think that do you have room for expansion in your place or not?
We do. The thing is, it's going to require more investments.
Okay.
We have room to expand. We do have a 5,000 square foot space.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of what that budget looks like and when does the expansion become worth it for revenue. So, we've talked about knocking some walls down.
We've talked about it. There's the wild ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I love to hear that you're doing the strategic planning side, because I think that's important for any business owner. Not something you did just in your normal jobs as a stylist. So it's this whole other thing that you're learning.
Yeah.
I believe I made tons of mistakes along the way, and you just hope they're not too bad. I'm sure there's a lot of things that you're proud of with your company. What's one thing that you're most proud of?
I think our culture is very strong at Fresh right now. We've got a team of, like we said, 30 people, and everyone is good at helping each other and cheering each other on, whether it's in person or on socials. Everyone's happy to be working next to somebody who's successful. So just recently, my associate, she got promoted from being an associate to being a full-time stylist. So we took her out for drinks and a few of the girls came, and it was just nice to recognize her and to celebrate her. We have monthly meetings every first Friday of the month, and we celebrate anyone who's had a promotion or anyone who's done anything outstanding. Maybe they did a good reel on Instagram. It can be anything really. It's so nice to be a part of something where we're all celebrating each other and being each other's cheerleaders. It's great.
Yeah, I imagine that's not always like that for other businesses in general, but even other salons, if there's like silos where you're not as much rooting for the next person because you don't have that culture of family or team.
I think it's just the simple mindset shift of, rather than focusing on all the fires that we need to put out, we're focused on all of the little micro celebrations and all of the positive wins. And I think when we really lean into the positive and we're celebrating our team, all of the fires kind of fix themselves. So it's
That's
cool
such good
to see.
advice, I think, for any business owner, where it's easy to kind of spotlight what goes wrong or what this person did wrong.
Yeah.
But then you overlook the positive things that they're doing, and you have to be intentional with doing that.
And sometimes when we're coaching the younger girls coming through, we might say to them, pick somebody, pick a mentor, pick a stylist in the salon who you look up to, and mimic what they do. Watch what they do, say what they say, follow the people that they're following, go to the gym class that they're going to, and become that person. And so instead of creating jealousy within the company, people admire who they're working side by side with. It's so nice to be working next to somebody who's as driven as you and excited to be at work and passionate about it, rather than working next to somebody who's a bit bored and doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a good thing going.
It creates some healthy competition, I think, too.
It really is healthy competition, yeah.
The girls love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's good. Well, it all starts from the leadership. So that starts from you, and it seems like you have such a focus on your employees. I think that is such a great thing that not many companies do, and it sounds like you're doing it really well. So
we're trying.
Yeah, we've really leaned into the work-life balance as well. We had 6 pregnancies this past year.
That's a lot.
We contribute to healthcare too for our staff, and we provide disability insurance, and we just want to make sure that not only are they performing at work, but they're taken care of and feel safe at home too. You know, it's one thing to go to work and be motivated and have fun, but if you go home and you're stressed about your situation, there's nothing good comes out of that. Now, when we do have our monthly coaching with our staff, we're not just like talking about their numbers. We're talking about their life. Like, how's it going at home? You know, how are your kids? Like, what are your goals? What do you want to do on a personal level?
And I love that you say coaching. It's not just training. Like you're really coaching them in all aspects of business, of course, but yes, just personal growth as well.
I think that probably is part of the beauty of it with us as well, because we did start as associates and we've been there for 10 years and we've been over most of these hurdles.
Yeah.
So the struggles that people are experiencing, Taylor and I have done it.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I did this to overcome it. And every so often we'll share a memory that comes up on social media or something. And Taylor shared one recently. She went to a networking event by herself, was really uncomfortable going, but went anyway. Nobody else went with her. And so when the girls are, I don't know anybody, it's hard for me to get out. And Taylor's like, well, I did this when I was at this stage. And it's great, you know. We've been there, done that, and this is how we overcame it.
Yeah, lead by example.
Yeah.
I think that's the best leadership that you can do. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been thinking about owning their own business and maybe were scared or just hesitated, didn't take the moment. What advice would you give to somebody that was on the fence, thinking about opening up their own business? What would you say?
Mine would be is really study your industry and know what your margin is. Certain industries have more profitability than others. And I think specifically in the hair world, there's a lot of overhead. And so if you're going to make a profit, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of strategic planning and it's a labor of love. It's not all fun and rainbows and unicorns. It's not art anymore. It's, hey, we got to sit on our laptop and look at a spreadsheet for 3 hours sometimes. There's a lot of not fun things that go along with it, but you just have to keep your end goal in mind. And when that end goal is no longer worth what you're willing to put in, then don't do it.
I'm sure there's been some struggles, right? I mean, it's nothing goes smoothly. And I feel like most businesses, when they start out, will hit that wall of like, oh, am I making the right decision? Have you experienced that? Have you gotten through that? Yeah.
And it sucks that it's 2 of us. If it were 3 of us, we would have a tiebreaker. But we've literally sat down and been like, what the hell do we do? Like,
but I think that's also to our advantage, where if it was just me, I don't think I could do it by myself. I couldn't have done this on my own, especially with the size and how many employees we've got. It is nice to have somebody who you can brainstorm with and talk to about it all day and all night. And guess what? We do, especially in the beginning as well. And I'd get text messages at 3 a.m, and then you'd get one back from me because I'm up as well anyway, just thinking about it and talking about it. I think that has been great. In the beginning, a lot of people said to us, oh, you're going to fall out. This is going to end badly. You need to get this and you need to do that and you need a third person. And of course, we try to listen to people as much as we can do because we know we don't know everything and we like to take advice. But I think we've done pretty well. I think we've done pretty good. And one of our mottos is just sleep on it. See how you feel tomorrow.
Saved us from so many bad decisions.
Yeah, it really has.
Just taking one night to sleep on it. Because I think it takes the emotion out of things. You're able to think with more of a logical head. When you're hot and bothered and
so much learning.
Pissed off, you don't make good decisions. So.
Correct. We know that.
Oh, that's good advice. Yep. I mean, that's something that anybody could use. And what would you say, Kat, as far as advice to someone that, and I'm sure there's a lot of single moms when you're single at the time that maybe it takes a little bit longer to reach your goal, but
we've got some girls at the salon now who I see myself in when I was their age and getting going. I think this is an industry where you really do have to be passionate about it and be obsessed with it. And if you are, you'll get there in the end. Just keep going. If it takes you a little bit longer, it's okay. It really is. Anyone who's interested or thinking of taking the plunge themselves, I think that was absolutely nailed it, what Taylor said. But if you want to own a salon just to say that you own a salon, that's not going to cut it. That's not enough.
You're going to fail.
You're going to fail. You've got to put that blood, sweat and tears into it. And people will have a perspective that you are loaded and you don't go to work and you've got all this freedom, and it's not true. It's absolutely not true. So yeah, it's a lot of work.
Especially as you're scaling a business too. Pat and I have been in this constant state of growth with Fresh. We haven't hit this plateau where we're raking in the profits. There's always something that can grow and be improved upon, and that requires
we keep
money.
Spending money.
Yeah, we keep spending money. Why do we do this?
We need to buy this. Oh yeah, let's do it. That'll be fun.
But it always ends up being worth it.
Yeah.
It's just...
We've not regretted any money we've spent, have we?
No. But it does put you in a state of growth. You're just not in a profit phase.
Keep going
when you're doing that.
Yes. Well, you're building the enterprise value, which is not something you see right away that you can just start taking money out. But it's an investment. It's such a long-term investment that requires a grind and just constant work and reinvestment in it. So it sounds like you're doing the right things and you're focusing on the right things of investing in your people, investing in your equipment and your environment, and you're running it with pure hearts. And so that's something, I think the formula is there. All right. And you're accepting clients, right? Always. Okay. And I thought it was unique that sometimes you'll have two clients at a time working, but you have that team approach, which is different. It's so nice to not just be in a silo. And so that, I think, opens up a lot more opportunities for growth for you as well.
There's a reason we call them associates and not assistants. So we've kind of tailored our program to be very hands-on. But they're not just shampooing and sweeping hair and handing you foils. Like, they're side-by-side foiling with you, or they're side-by-side applying color and learning and getting that hands-on experience. And I think that's what sets us apart.
Yeah. That's getting people who want to work there, right? I mean, if you have a lot of demand for that, and then it's just having the space for it.
I never imagined we would be in a position where we have a wait list for our associate program.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Really cool.
That speaks volumes. So it's 10 years from now. What does the Fresh Salon look like?
We've had arguments about this.
Honestly, I'm hoping for a lot more freedom. I'd like to have teams of people who are running things for us, and I just want to show up for a meeting and say yes or no.
Yeah, right. Yep. Share your wisdom and leadership. Yeah. More of that leadership role behind the scenes versus like you don't need a seat anymore.
Correct. Okay. I absolutely want to be slowing down quite a bit by then, and I don't want to be in my 50s doing hair and stuff. I'll leave that for the younger girls.
Okay.
Listen, I'm in my 30s and my body hurts, so it's valid.
Yeah. Well, I think you're on your way, and I think you guys have a great story, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. And where's your salon located?
We're downtown, right on Main Street.
Okay. And then they can follow you on Instagram. We'll put some links up, and always enjoy your Instagram stories and stuff too. shows your culture really well, and seems like a fun place and very professional as well. So you're doing great. I'm so excited. I can't wait to interview you again. Maybe we'll get you back and see what's the next, because you're right in that, beginning stages. And so I think if we talk another time, there'll be more lessons that you've learned and another level that you've reached, and I'd be excited to hear about it. So, well, thank you so much for coming on. And
thank you for having us.
You're so welcome. Well, good luck to you, and I'm sure I'll talk with you again.
Thank you.
All right.